I am too comfortable in my own skin and too comfortable to have somebody else dictate what I'm supposed to be doing in my life. I already hate my family for telling me what to do. Why would I want a significant other to tell me what to do? No, thank you. Okay, I love the fact that I have freedom. Even though there's a part of me, part of my womanhood, that wants a kid, that wants to be married. That's right, in that order, because I don't give a shit about the standards. My standards are like up here. Someone had to sweep me off my feet. Someone had to do something in order to get my attention, because even all these apps and dating apps, I cannot stand them.
So I decided to give online dating a shot again, and I got blocked.
Welcome back to the desert, ladies and gentlemen, all of you chads and beautiful handsome men and beautiful ladies. Welcome back to the channel. We've gathered here today to start a new year of content. And before we start, I received a comment on my latest video that someone said, I'm really happy that your channel is growing so fast. It really is, guys. Like, for some reason the views increased drastically, so I'm really happy that you all are enjoying this content and being entertained by it and learning a thing here and there, having discussions with other people. So thank you a lot, guys. Thank you a lot for this. But now, enough with the positive messaging. Let's go to whatever the hell this is, all right? That were the good news. Now let's move on to the bad news. You know, new year, you think that a lot of things change, and yes, they do in the economy and stuff. But women, all right, being miserable, being single due to their bad decisions hasn't changed. It's all the same. New year, same crap as before. So let's get started.
So I have a question for y'all. I am 37 years old. I have been single.
Don't need to know anything more. I suspect what your question is. Me and all the people watching this can give you an answer after learning that you're 37. But let's listen her out.
Majority of my life. And not that the tarot readings, you know, on here are the best, but, you know, some big things supposed to happen this month, like all months. And so I'm wondering why TikTok feeds me that, because I'm not looking for a relationship, because honestly, someone would have to be, I'd literally have to be on my deathbed for someone to come and me to do anything like that, because hell no. I am too comfortable in my own skin and too comfortable to have somebody else dictate what I'm supposed to be doing in my life.
Okay, now that is, you know, quite unpleasant to hear for men, but honestly, I do respect it. There's always been women like these who happen to be more masculine, and I know, they just have different brains, different things they like, and I'm absolutely fine with it. I'm good with there being different people on earth. And hey, if this is you, good for you. You know, go do something else. Not all people are meant for relationships. Some men are born in such a way, or, you know, grow in such a way that they don't want to have anything to do with females. If the same happens to women, I'm absolutely all right with it. You know when the problem comes? When you happen to be extremely unattractive to men, yet you expect out of them that they should give you everything you want. That is the problem. Let's continue.
I already hate my family for telling me what to do. Why would I want a significant other to tell me what to do? No, thank you. Okay, I love the fact that I have freedom. Even though there's a part of me, part of my womanhood, that wants a kid, that wants to be married. That's right, in that order, because I don't give a shit about the standards.
Yeah, there's the problem, guys. If you want to mind your own business and be masculine and do your own thing, good for you. Men are not going to touch you with a 6-foot pole in either case, alright? So if you happen to be that woman, good. But there comes the problem, guys. Oh, but I still want to have a kid. I still want to have a family. Well, then if you go into an arrangement with another person, you have to consider him and his needs and desires and expectations. What is this entitled attitude of, I want to have my cake and eat it too? I want to, at the same time, have all my demands met, yet give nothing in return. In fact, give negative value. This woman can't provide anything feminine to your life, only masculine things. Well, if I wanted masculinity, I will date one of my bros. You know what I'm talking about? Men are not looking for a woman as masculine as you who, quote unquote, doesn't give a crap about rules and the standard and whatever not she mentioned. Also, funny to point out how her family is telling her what to do, meaning her mother is like, please, don't end my bloodline, please, I beg you, just continue having kids, don't just end millions of years of family, procreating only for the bloodline to end in a masculine tomboy.
But seriousness, how in the world do you guys do it? Why are your standards so low? My standards are like up here. Someone had to sweep me off my feet. Someone had to do something in order to get my attention, because even all these apps and dating apps, I cannot stand them.
Yeah, guys, there seems to be a little problem here. She wants to be swept off her feet. Wouldn't you see, guys? It's like a woman nowadays, someone they're really putting in no effort at all, right? They don't even try to be feminine, like, let alone being nurturing and having all these beautiful things that women do possess by nature. No, it's like we're not even going to be a woman nowadays, like absolute masculine.
So I decided to give online dating a shot again, and I got blocked. So I got blocked because I am from Massachusetts, South Shore, south of Boston. Lots of movies going on. The Wahlbergs, well, Mark Wahlberg was a topic of discussion because welcome to Indiana. People aren't used to celebrities in movies and things like that. This guy wanted to talk about my experience meeting Mark Wahlberg because I am not a huge fan of him and I think he's an asshole. Mark also knew my dad back when they were younger. Well, I said no, I don't talk about it, and he blocked me.
Interesting. I swear, guys, women will give the stupidest reasons for them being single. Apparently, guys, in Indiana, all men, literally all men, all ages, they want to talk about actors or whatever she mentioned, and if she doesn't, they block her. This is all men, all right? This is a prerequisite for men in Indiana, that women do talk about actors and celebrities. All right.
Story time. So it took me a minute to try to decide who was going to be next for my date story time. Haircut guy.
So guys, if you haven't watched the video yesterday, we covered this woman. She talked about a guy falling asleep on one of their dates. Now, next day after, she's talking about some other guy. So a really colorful past this woman has, literally dating a new guy every day. You know, what a bag of ruins. Just her dating history is thousands of men piled up on a big massive failure because nobody cares enough to put effort, or the guys that do put effort, she dismisses them. So, you know, solution to this is have better picking, you know, better picking skills for men. This you know, strategy that some women use to just spin a roulette or date as multiple men, as much men as possible is stupid. All right, don't hit me with the all my dates are failures if you just randomly spin a roulette and you go date every second guy. Have some decency. Date someone you know. Date someone you've been in touch with for a long time, or date people who seem decent from afar. All right, don't just date every second guy and then complain about it. But on last video I mentioned this woman had a lot of metal on her face. Now she's added even more, guys. I don't know how the skin off her face doesn't peel off with so many metal around it, but let's continue now.
Hi. So I'm a hairstylist, and this next particular person who I only went on one date with, we'd been talking for only like a couple days, and he had asked me rather quickly if I wanted to meet up for a date, and we didn't live too far apart, like 45 minutes. So kind of on a whim, I was like, sure, why not? But then he informed me, hey, I don't have time to get a haircut before our date, and it's been a while since I've had one. I'm kind of shaggy. Would you mind giving me a haircut? And for some reason, I agreed to give this stranger a haircut on our first date. And I didn't really think about the fact that it was going to be late at night, and I'm like a solo stylist. I work with one other hairstylist, but mostly we are in there alone when we're there. So it was like late in the evening. It was dark. This man came to the salon that I had never met before, and I proceeded to like go to the front door to let him in, and very quickly realized that he was not super truthful on his profile. His photos had to be at least 10 years old. So he was much older than he was portraying himself to be, and also quite a bit heavier, which is totally fine. At the time, I was quite a bit heavier. It's before I lost weight too, but all my information and photos were current, and I was not, trying to be deceptive at all. But he had just driven 45 minutes, and I'm a people pleaser, and I felt guilty. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll give you a haircut. He comes in, and it was just very obvious to me that this was not going to be a good date. And I'm used to, giving strangers haircuts. I do it all the time.
Before she continues, guys, with the it's not a good date, as all her dates are, she just emphasizes the fact over and over again that this is a stranger. This is a man she's never met. Like, that's supposed to make her a victim somehow. Madam, you chose to date that stranger. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't like meeting strangers and you don't like dates to be failures, don't date strangers. Like, I understand men being on dating apps because they have no options, but for women, guys, women always have this one neighbor that likes them, or this one friend that has been interested in them for the last 5 years, or they have someone in their DMs they already know. You know what I'm talking about? Like, the real reason why these women are single is not because every date is a failure. It's because they dismiss a large proportion of men that have been hitting them throughout the years, whom they already know, whom they could be with. It's just they have high expectations. That's the real reason. So don't hit me with the, oh, all these strangers, so weird, so strange. One fell asleep at my house. The other one wanted to for me to do a haircut. Well, don't date them. It's like women, for as long as I remember, for the last 4,000 years, have been managing to get into families and form families and get with men without Tinder. So I don't think you need Tinder to find a man. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, but there are people in other states. I can't get to know them. My city is too big. I don't get that often, off my house because I have a single kid. Sounds like a you problem. If women have been able for thousands of years to find partners without the internet, I don't think that is stopping you right now. It's your unreal expectations that are stopping you.
The time, but I have never felt more objectified or like gazed at in my life trying to cut this man's hair, and also knowing that he's there to take me on a date afterwards. It was just extremely awkward, and definitely something I will only do once. I will never do that again. So it was just very awkward. And then the small talk was weird during the haircut, and I didn't charge him for the haircut, so I thought that was like, oh, kind of weird. I gave him a free haircut, and he took me out for like dinner, which was this like little dive bar that wasn't too far away. And I should have probably just not gone out after that, but I did because I was trying to be kind. And the whole time that we were at the bar, he Anyway, so he proceeds to tell me about his career, and I can't even remember what he did for like work, but he, on the side, hosted a podcast where he was like a movie critic, and he had studied journalism in undergrad, and basically proceeded to mansplain any movie that I tried to bring up, and also how all my opinions about all of these movies were incorrect.
Whenever a woman says mansplain, just go. Just turn your back, alright? There's never been and never will be an intelligent, good woman that uses the word mansplain. And matter of fact, this guy is a professional. Like, this is his hobby, and he studied journalism, all those things. Like, he's a critic. This is his profession. What are you saying he's mansplaining you? If you call a plumber to your house and he tells you what the problem is, would you say that he's mansplaining you? What are you, dumb?
It was just pretty intolerable. Yeah. And then he assumed that I wanted him to come back to my house, which was not the case, and like was very excited about the opportunity to have a second date. And I was like, I think we just had two very different experiences here. Yeah, so sent him on his way, never talked to him again. He didn't message me, I didn't message him. It was very interesting and bad. Not the worst. I don't even know if that was in the top 5 worst, but it was just like something that I experienced that I know I don't want to experience again. Like, yeah.
Okay, good for you. Couldn't care less. What we can take from this video, gentlemen, is that first off, if you make a woman pay for anything, in this case it was labor, you know, she paid what is, I don't know, 30 minutes of doing a haircut, she'll bring that up, you know, she'll remember it. I actually had to do something and pay something. You know, they're absolutely accustomed to men paying for dates and taking them here and there and paying for the gas and all that. But the moment they have to do something, it becomes a problem. You know, like, what a bad date. I had to do something. And then, why was the date bad? Just because you happen to be an uninteresting person who cannot talk about interesting stuff like movies? Just because you think that every feminist movie or Marvel movie that shoves down our throats female empowerment in the most poor and dumb way, just because he criticizes these movies, you disagreed with him? I know, guys, the lesson to take from this is women who are this dull, just don't waste your time with them, man. I tell you. But thank you guys for watching this video. We got a lot of content coming this year. Let me tell you guys, it'll never end. It will never end, this content. There will be women whining and complaining because they continue to do the same mistakes over and over. They never learn, and their numbers keep increasing, which is bad news if you want to have a serious relationship, but it's good news if you get entertained by women crying on the internet. But guys, just before we leave, one last thing. I just wanted to wish you all a good year. Now, I don't think that the earth spinning around, you know, gives some meaning to your life, you know, that it gives you any benefits or something. But what I wish you is that in this year, you know, you fulfill your desires, you work for what you want, you know, you manifest if you want the things. So for all the people looking for something serious, I hope you find it between the very, you know, few choices that are left. For those of you who want to be single, I wish that you find joy in your solitude. And just, I wish you all, guys, a happy new year and a very prosperous year. Thank you for watching. Ampu wishes you the same, even though he cannot speak our language, but you know he is. Thank you for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.